Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this February the 3rd, 2023, a Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Weather balloon, that's the top story out there. A balloon. It was bigger than maybe size of 4 school buses. This thing was not a small balloon. Probably capable of carrying I'm just going to guess, I can only guess, maybe carrying 1,000 pounds or more, of payload. And nobody knows what. I was watching last night in the news and they said that they were not going to shoot it down. And for obvious reasons, they don't know what's in that payload. It's obviously, you can see under the underside of it, it's carrying something. The balloon is. And the object looks like it's some sort of antennas or something. I'm just guessing, but you don't know what's in that payload. And so it was floating over sensitive American military areas, places where they keep things like nuclear weapons and things like that. And now what's happening today? Well, the Chinese are saying that, oops, there's a mistake. It accidentally flew over that area. Don't be alarmed. Settle down and everything else. So we're going to have to wait and see in further developments what happens with this. But this is an interesting situation indeed. And, of course, it's going to increase tensions. Let's take a look here. Okay. Other news I wanted to talk about is Turkey. The U.S. warns Turkey against blocking Finland and Sweden's NATO bid. And they're telling the Turkish government, they're saying, Turkey's F-16s, they got an order of F-16s they're trying to get from the United States. It says, Turkey's F-16 ambition hits a roadblock. U.S. senators, they're warning Erdogan against blocking Sweden's NATO bid. In other words, you ain't going to get your F-16s unless you stop blocking Sweden's NATO bid. But there's an interesting thing about Turkey. Spotted here, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Turkey are all applying to join the BRICS nations. Now, you guys don't know what's going on. You got NATO over here in the West, and NATO's a big alliance, and they want to get these new members in, right? New member states that want to join NATO, but there's also new member states wanting to join up with the BRICS. And the BRICS is the other alliance, the alliance of the East. So you got an alliance of the West and an alliance of the East. So you got these two groups of nations forming together to form these two alliances. One's NATO and one is the BRICS. This is the division in the world that I've been talking about the last number of days. So Turkey is kind of like in the middle of all of this. And Turkey's a very powerful nation. They got an awful lot of advanced weaponry and everything else. And they want America or the NATO alliance to give them a bunch of new weapons. But they also want to join up with the BRICS alliance, the opposite side. And they're going to block certain member states. Well, they're not saying they're going to block. I'm just saying that maybe. That's up in the air. Of joining up with NATO. So this is stuff that's happening in the world right now. There's a tremendous push going on. Over there, the BRICS, they want to bring down our financial system. They would like to bring down it, but they don't want to, because they're integrally tied to our financial system as well. So it's kind of like a sort of like, they don't want to bring it down too quick, but this is a war for the world. Both of these alliances want to take over everything. They want everybody to be on their side. So the BRICS want everybody in the world on their side, and the NATO wants everybody in the world on their side, and the world's divided into two halves now. They're basically like a piece of pie, like the world is a giant pie, and they want to slice the pie in half, but they want more. They want more than the big lion cut. It's kind of like, you ever seen a person divide pie in half and not slice it right down the center? That's just slice it off to one side. So one side gets a little chunk and the other side gets the big chunk. Well, in this case, both sides. NATO wants the big chunk, and so does BRICS. BRICS wants the big chunk. They want to slice the world like a pie, instead of just saying, okay, we're going to share the entire world. Like the way things were before. Back when they had free, the trade was open and free and easy, and the whole world was like trading back and forth, and everybody was getting along pretty good. Right now, we're moving into a rough period where they're not getting along right now. Far from it, and they're choosing sides. Are you going to be on NATO's side, or are you going to be on the BRICS side? That's what's happening right now. These sides are being chosen. Well, what does that sound like? Back in high school or something, they're going to have a game of dodgeball, and they get everybody and they'd have two teams, a red team and a blue team, right? And then they'd say, okay, pick sides. Which side are you going to be on here? They're choosing sides. Something's happening in the world here. Setting up for this. So world leaders setting us up for something here. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit. I got to get talking about what's happening. The big jobs report. Big jobs report, guys. We put in a big jobs report. U.S. economy added 517,000 jobs, according to their fake numbers. What they were expecting was they were expected 188,000, and they got 517,000. The unemployment rate was expected to be 3.6%, and it's 3.4% unemployment. And so, well, this is, as long as this is going on, as long as these numbers are coming in like this, the Fed's going to continue to tighten. But what they're tightening over here, or over here they're tightening, and what they don't notice is over there the economy's disintegrating. But they're not paying attention to that. They're only paying attention to numbers like this. You know what I mean? So they're going to continue tightening. Tightening into weakness. I call it weakness. The economy's weak, faltering, and the real economy. Businesses are closing. They're laying off people, and this is going to catch up with them in the end. But it's going to catch up rather suddenly. And I can tell you guys right now, from geopolitical events that are happening in the world, I am setting a date, and I'm starting to set a date. I believe there's a market crash coming, and it's a few months away. And what's going to cause it is got to do with geopolitical events in the world. That's going to trigger it, I believe. And it's probably going to be this spring. And the markets are set up for the biggest crash in the history of the markets. The setup's there. The energy's there. It's just that we're not quite there yet. But we're gonna get there. And that's when the Fed's gonna really capitulate. What I saw this morning is that they're sacrificing in Great Britain, the United Kingdom. They're sacrificing the Great British Pound to save their real estate market. And don't you think for 1 second, when all this starts to come down the pike, heading toward this, the United States is not going to do. They're going to do exactly the same thing. They're going to sacrifice the dollar in the end. That's the way it's going to go. So for you guys out there hoarding dollars, just remember that they can print or create. They don't even print them. They can create as many dollars as there are leaves on the trees in the entire world. It's just the push of a button. So you're holding something that they can create. They can manufacture and it's nothing for them. And in order to save the real estate market, in order to save Wall Street, in order to save themselves, they will print. And honest to God, they'll print to infinity. And you'll be holding what they're going to print. Now is the time. You know what? It's on sale. Look what they're doing right now using these paper short contracts. They've driven the price down 96 cents today alone. $22.49 for silver. It's on sale right now. Right? It might not be on sale for much longer. And you might be surprised, you know, you ever seen one of these things just before the stores? Listen, guys. Just before the stores get ready to jack the price up on something, right? Like, say you're going in there and say it's winter coats or whatever, you know. You go in there 1 week and it's got this crash sale, 70% off, all winter coats. And you can get a coat for $39. Right? That week. And you walk by the aisle and say, oh, I don't really need a coat right now, you know, it's still warm outside and everything else, you know. You come in there 2 weeks later because it's got cold out, now you really want a coat. And the price $149.97. You could have had one for $39, and that's because they brought their new stock in. You know, and they were just waiting. They're putting that last sale on before they were just waiting to jack the price up on you. And that's what's going to go on here with silver right away. This is what I see coming. Is the price is going to jack up, and you ain't going to be able to get it for no $22.49. Forget that. It's going to be more like $87.95. You know, it's going to be like way over the $50 range. And that's our next stop. And the train's going to leave the station on you guys. And not only that, it's the insurance that it offers you over the dollar. Because, like I say, they can print the dollar to infinity, and the dollar can be worth less and less and less and less. Meanwhile, this stuff keeps once it gets on a charge, once it gets going, once gold starts to take off, anyway, the computer is telling me that I got to end this show pretty soon, so we got to get going here. We haven't got much storage space left. I don't know why my computer's getting so short on storage. But we're going to take a look at cryptos. Cryptos is Bitcoin is 23.6 and Ethereum is 16.65. Dow Jones today, it's up 97 points at 34,151. The S&P is down 2 points at 41.76. Oil is at 77.47. It's up $1. It's up $1.59. That's quite a little bit. I'm gonna have to free up some space, but see, if I run out of space, this thing will shut off, and then I'll lose the end of my show. And so I'm trying to get to the end of my show because I don't want to do this show all over again. I do these shows in one take. You know what I mean? Darn computers. Anyway. Okay, so bonds and rates today. We're looking at rising yields. We're looking at a 10-year at 3.53 and a U.S. 30-year at 3.64. The 10-year is up 13 basis points, which is a lot. And the U.S. 30-year is up 8.5 basis points, which is quite a lot. So bonds are really on the move today to the upside. And finishing off with the U.S. dollar index at 102.55. I just freed up space on this thing. Anyway, you guys have a great afternoon. And we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.